We have John Stoltzfus, MD and Chief Investment Strategist at Oppenheimer Asset Management, joining in. John, thank you so much for being with us. Like I was recapping here, for us in India, if you look at the index, it's as if nothing moved, and yet so much happened in September, right? But we still don't have a hint of any meaningful pickup in foreign purchases of Indian equities. What do you make of the environment here? Do you expect more rate cuts from the RBI? Will that create more excitement in foreign investors at all?
Well, I think it's great to be on the show. First, let me say, I think if you get a cut in the RBI, that'll be a good feeling for the market. Lower interest rates are always an opportunity to see a boost. I think what we've got here is on a global basis, all the markets are showing very much traders rotating and rebalancing almost on a day-to-day basis. Valuation, of course, plays a role. Whether the dollar is in a strong day or in a lower day makes an issue too, as well as the fact that I think that on a global basis right now, the focus is really in emerging markets as a result of valuation has been outside of India for a while in terms of foreign investors. But I do believe that from an intermediate to long-term perspective, which is what at Oppenheimer, my group, works on as a strategy group, this is a major economy that is going to play a role in what we've said for quite a while whenever we're on the show, is a diversification away from one country's centricity in terms of the global supply chain. And we do believe that is a process that has been taking place since 2016. So it's we're 9 years into that process, and it's been accelerated, of course, post-COVID. So we would have to say that a lot of the issues here, I think there's, of course, issues related to it happens both in Europe and also with India, is the purchase of Russia gasoline.
Yeah.
You're bound to find some U.S. investors who will pull back and put emphasis in other areas.
Yeah, sure. And then, of course, there is this whole business of the shutdown. I mean, we've been down this road before. We all know that. It's what? I think it's 8 o'clock roughly here. I think another hour and a half to midnight in Washington, D.C. I mean, will it be any material event for the market at all? Or do you think they'll eventually get down to a resolution?
I would have to think that it's going to get down to a resolution, that we may see near term a shutdown that will be likely resolved over the weekend. I think the Yom Kippur holiday could very well, if they don't make an agreement tonight, over the course of the next 2 days or so, you may see a hold off until the weekend. But then we would likely see both sides of the aisle gather in Washington and try to work it out. In our view, the market, I mean, if you look at the performance of the S&P 500 today, there was a little bit of a dance around the S&P 500 and the other major indices. The smalls and the mids were taking it harder for a while. And then by the end of the day, broadly, you could say that most of the important indices, equity indices in the U.S., were showing basically flat with either with a modest upside, with upside bias. So we'd have to say past performance would suggest that it's, as long as the shutdown is not a long, involved deal, we think that the market will likely handle it not with complacency, but with a watchful eye. You've seen the VIX came up a little bit today, earlier in the States, and we would think, but still nowhere near where it was in April. I think the VIX in the U.S. is down today, even with a little bit of a blip up, was about 69% below of where it was in April. So really calmer, cooler heads are prevailing in our market right now.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, lovely backdrop there, John. The buildings and the thing. It's a real backdrop, right? It's a glass behind you. Or is that a...
That is actually a photograph, but I would say this is a photograph that was taken during COVID at a time when people thought it was the end of the world. And we can say now it wasn't the end of the world.
as they say, right, nothing ever really is the end of the world in that sense. It feels like it many times in the past. But yeah, that really did for a while there. John, we had more questions, but really compressed on time. Hope you come back and we'll talk more. Thank you very much for joining us. Good speaking with you here on CNBC TV 18.